cutoff game was strong. I was throwing the whole phone away. Like, I'm out.
I understand. I'm remembering about 3 or 4 phone numbers I had in my head right now.
I had too many to remember. I remember the last one, and that's it. Yeah. But I feel because it got to the point where I was at the point where I was so fed up. I'm like, nobody cares about me. I have to care about me. Yeah. So at that point, anything that didn't look like you cared about me, anything that essentially wasn't Vic's way, you gotta go. Like, you got to go. And it wasn't no questions, no nothing. I would simply fall back at. Like, my parents stopped asking about people. They knew. I stopped bringing them up. They stopped coming around, whether it's male, female, my auntie, whoever. Like, people were, I was done. And I stayed in my bubble because I felt like, you know, I can't keep going through this. Like you said, disposing people, that's not good either. Yeah. That can't be healthy. But, so what I did, I deliberately didn't go out my way to make friends. For a whole 4 years of college, I was isolated. If you didn't come from high school with me, I didn't want to know you. I wasn't getting to know you. I didn't get my phone number out. I don't care if it was to study. Like, it was bad to the point where I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of going through this conversation. Like you said, having a conversation, nothing's changing. I'm not wasting time anymore. So I'm done. I'm done connecting with people. So I went introvert to the extreme, like to the point it was almost like, yeah, like, she okay, something wrong. You know, they look at it like, what's wrong with the quiet kid? You know, but it really was. It was difficult, especially being in an environment I was in at Mizzou, which was really toxic and a racial environment where it's like I already wasn't accepted at the school in general. So to not be accepted by my own people, to go through what I went through there, that was another level to it. You know, and it just was a lot. So I definitely learned a lot in the process, but yeah, I try to do better now. I love connecting now, and I understand, like you said, the importance of understanding there's levels to this. Are you a friend? Are you an associate? Like, even in, you know, our friendship, I know with, you know, both of you all, it's been levels to this, like the progression where it didn't start off like, oh, we can have these conversations, but now seeing where we're at, like, I'm thankful for it. Thankful that I'm not just cutting people off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's because, you know, coming from not being here, you know, transitioning to a new environment, new state as an adult. You know, as an adult. Not as a teen where you can still go and make, you know, all these friends at school and stuff. So, you know, I was fortunate to, you know, end up at you know, where I did my internship and everything, and, you know, met you in Trail, and then Vicky, you came along, and yeah, so like you said, to piggyback off of what you said, I'm just glad I was not at that space still where people were disposable to me, that I was not going to allow anybody else in my space anymore.
Right. Because I think I really missed out on some opportunities I could have. Not to say I don't have those opportunities now. Like, I just know that networking is important. It's always it always has been, and you know, because I was living the way I was living and shutting people out. Yeah, I think I probably missed out on some things that could have been helpful for me. You know, I think I struggled a little bit more than I needed to because of it, but you live and you learn. All part of, you know, life, the experience.
Key point, learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if not, you'll go right through the same thing. You know, again, and wondering like, why does this keep happening to me? Well, have you looked yourself in the mirror? Have you been honest with yourself? Well, you could be honest with someone else. You gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta sit with yourself. So.
Which, you know, like I told my viewers on my first video, it's a process. It's a process, you know, and you gotta be intentional about it.
Yes.
Because if you're not intentional about it, you're not gonna do it. Like, let's just be real, you're not gonna do it. Because it's work. It's work. And then it's work on top of the work that you do at your job. The work you do pleasing your family, your friends. You know, any work that you do, like that is a different kind of work.
Right. It's emotional. The emotional level is different. You know, like, I can get the energy to work out. Take me with a pre-workout, go. Ain't no pre-workout for your emotions. How to sit with that and deal with that. There's nothing to prepare you for what's gonna come up next.
You know, if you just think about certain things that happen to you, you know, whether it be something traumatic, you know, going through those experiences are hard in themselves. Being self-inflicting it on yourself just for the purpose of, you know, and just for the purpose of reflecting is, you know, it almost seems like torture, self-torture, but, you know, it's not. It's just work. And work sometimes is hard.
Yeah. And it's, it's fruitful.
Say it again.
It's fruitful.
Wait, swap.
Pause.
So what you say?
Fruitful.
It's full of fruit.
I said my audience can't hear you now.
Enunciate.
I was saying it's fruitful at the end of it. It's fruitful at the end of it. And it's it's not a thing where, you get to this point and you arrive and you don't have to do anything else. And I think people get that misconstrued. Like, it's not like you on this it's a journey. Yeah. Like, when they say life journey, like, it's truly a journey. It's not somewhere you arrive and that's it and you stop the race. You have to continue to maintain every day to continue on the path that you already worked to get to. Because if not, you could easily backslide. You could easily go back to the place where you worked so hard to come from. Because you thought, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm here, and I don't have to do anything else. Like, you have to continue to do the daily work. And I think that's something for people, to be mindful of and understand before. Like, if you say, like, okay, I'm ready to heal, I'm ready to move forward, like, okay, prepare your mind to be committed and dedicated to choosing you every day for the rest of your life. And not settle and think, okay, I'll arrive. So.
I'm gonna ask Stephen, you just brought up something about comfort. Comfort can be toxic.
Yes.
They can be toxic too. Just sitting, just feeling, just wanting to, even like we were saying in employment with jobs, just sitting somewhere, like, it might not be a whole lot going on, but you're not progressing. Right. You're not moving forward. Right. You're not going where you really ideally want to go or taking those steps to get where you want to go. The upper mobility is very limited. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's toxic too.
Yeah. Just like Captain Williams said, he was like, this comedy special, if you're in the same place you were last year, you're not doing enough. Right. You don't have to be in a drastically different place, but like she was talking about, it's a life journey, it's a process. Anytime you commit to living life, truly living life, you're gonna have to see some type of progression. Which means last year, if I was only doing this, now, okay, how can I better myself? What do I want to add? How can I add value to me in some type of way so that I can continue to add value to others? Because I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be just comfortable, like you said, in a job where it's like, oh, it's great, they pay me, okay, cool, but what am I really doing here? You know what I'm saying? What do I really want for myself at the end of this journey? I don't want to look up 10 years later and I'm still stuck in the same space feeling like I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything for me. I might have changed a lot of other people's lives, but what am I doing for me in that process? Because it's so easy to get caught up on a journey feeling like, you're doing great, but you neglect yourself. And so I think that's how comfort looks, is like, for me anyway, I know comfort looks like me neglecting myself. Like, I'm comfortable, I'm okay, because everybody else around me is okay. I'm helping them to, continue to grow, but like, maybe I'm not. But I'm okay with it because everybody else around me is doing so great. And I feel like, I can attribute that to me being in their lives or something. And that's a place where that type of comfort leads me to neglect myself, put me back on the bottom of the list, or not even on my own list a lot of times. So that's like something I know for me is like where I'm trying to get out that comfort zone, because you can't grow and be comfortable. It just don't happen that way. Message.
Y'all better speak. Y'all better speak on growth spurt.
That's real.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
There's no growth in comfort. I probably wrote a plethora of graduation speeches and I had that in there somewhere because it's true. Like, how can you expect, just like you can't expect a different outcome from doing the exact same thing, doing something new, you cannot expect to be comfortable or still feel, no. That's not possible.
Right.
And if it is possible, it ain't gonna be worth what you want it to be worth in the end.
Right.
Because you didn't put in the work for it. And God ain't gonna give you nothing you don't work. and put in the work.
Right.
And show that you,
And you know, how much are you willing to sacrifice? You know, so.
Important sacrifice.
You know, sacrifice. You know, surrender and sacrifice.
You know, like my friends say, surrender to thrive.
You know, sometimes you might have to sit that old weekly outing at the house, you know, do some journaling. Think about what transpired this week. You know, there's a thing that y'all used to do during the school year was like a good day, or good note, good part of the day, bad part of it.
Yeah. Oh, positives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about positives and, you know, what was challenging about the day, and then follow up with, you know, what were the positives of the day.
And then I popped up, you know, let it go, let it flow. What are you letting go? What are you letting flow? And what do you need? You know, those check-ins.
Yeah. I think that this is a perfect, like, first step for somebody who's just getting started, you know, doing self-reflection. Because it's like I'm not taking on all of the challenges that I've experienced in my whole life just this day. Let's talk about this challenge. Let's talk about a positive note too, because that's important to be able to acknowledge and see that as well. But you know, taking it like a day by day and doing it, and then working yourself up to kind of like saying, you know, why am I
in this place?
Yeah, why am I in this place? Why am I how I am?
Right.
You know, all of this.
Right.
So.
That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. Like, you know, something like such a simple task, that, you know, it's powerful. Then we tripped up on how powerful it is until, you know, I stopped doing it. Start neglecting it. I'm like, I'm sad or I'm mad or I'm angry. What's going on with me? But I'm not looking at the positives. I'm neglecting these positives because me, I'm just gonna sit in this. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to confront it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to self-reflect because I'm afraid of what I'm gonna see. So, you know, I'm gonna run back the other way when I'm comfortable because I don't like what I'm seeing in the mirror and I don't want to go and push through that. So.
Right.
And if we get into a process of doing that, you know, for so long, keep putting that off, we become toxic to ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, at the end.
Yeah. We are our worst critics a lot of times.
Yeah. And I think it's important, you know, for people to understand it doesn't have to, like, your positive doesn't have to be anything big or huge. Like, it could be the smallest thing. It could be the fact that, you know, you sat outside and you felt the breeze, or, you know, you saw the sunrise, or you heard a bird chirp, or, you know, someone acknowledged you or complimented you on, you know, something you were wearing or something that you did. It doesn't have to be this big, extraordinary thing for it to be a positive. So.
Like, for instance, you know, the baby cup and passed us off.
You
Right.
too. You started from the bottom. Yeah.
That's maybe why I'm hot.
You know?
Yeah, all these different herbs and spices.
Doing stuff like a detox on the inside.
Over his sweat. I'm like, y'all not hot?
I can do one of these little flags.
I was perspired and then dried up and perspired again all over.
Yeah, y'all
That's
know,
okay.
I ain't got my pony and, you know, I snatched that out in a second.
We know.
Oh,
They
goodness.
would help that chicken slide. They mix it with that curry on your plate. That's what I had to do because the chicken's a little different. So he got the right idea. He mixed his. You know, still
Just
struggling
put
over
them
here.
all together. Butter curry chicken. Butter curry chicken.
Butter vegetable curry with over rice. So I have a question. Do you all feel like there are any toxic relationships currently in your life that you haven't addressed yet, that you know you need to address, but you didn't put it on? Everybody got a mouthful of curry now.
No, I think for me, I don't think so at this time. I know one of my biggest ones, you know, I let go of at the beginning of 2020. So, I can't think of any other ones at the moment.
Oh, for me, yeah, I would think, you know, there's some stuff in the past that I hadn't confronted that needs to be confronted. Yeah, some stuff from childhood that needs to be confronted, and yeah, I'm looking for the right avenue, the right way to do that with still being protective of myself as well. So that's so I wouldn't say it's an active toxic relationship, but it is something that still sticks with me. So it serves as a toxic,
It's lame.
It lingers, and not to say that even if that closure was there for it, that it would necessarily go away. But other than that, no. I'm pretty good on toxic. I think that I've gotten to a space where I'm able to kind of indicate a little bit better.
How about you? You asked the question.
Not sure. I almost slipped out. I almost didn't even ask.
I know he wasn't there.
I'm like, damn.
The default of the seat, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hot. I'm sorry.
I definitely would say so. Couple different areas of my life. It's some toxic things. Like also earlier this year, I let go of a relationship that I realized was toxic and that I was allowed to continue in. I didn't even realize. I'm like, man, that was really toxic. Like it shocked me. I'm like, why didn't I see this sooner? It was just that process of me realizing like it's time to let go. We talking about a decade. I've been letting this drag out over a decade, and it's nothing different. And the moment I did that, that's when I allowed other people to come into my life that have truly been a blessing. But yeah, just prior to that, it was just really bad. And it's actually a book I have I'm going to start reading called But It's Your Family. Toxic family ties and how to end them, because a lot of the toxicity in my life is at home. It's right there in my face. So, and it's not all the time, of course. Toxic people aren't always toxic 24/7. They can be, but in my situation, that's not the case. But it's just some people that I know I haven't had the conversation with. Like you said, I haven't really figured out how I want to go about having the conversation, but letting them know that I can't continue to be in relation to you for whatever reason. Like I have to step away because I'm recognizing that every time I'm around this person or these people or whatever it may be, I'm feeling a certain type of way, and it's taking me days to recover from it. It's too draining. Or if I'm constantly feeling like that person that has to be the one with all the answers, sometimes I just want to chill. I don't want to have the answers, So it's just different people in my life that I understand they need the help, they need the guidance, and they're seeking me for that guidance. But I have to be comfortable in knowing that it's not my obligation to help them get to that place, and giving them the resources and stepping away. So I think that's something that has allowed a lot of relationships to linger longer than they needed to, because like I said, I didn't want to go back to the cutoff, that extreme of just cutting everybody off of 1, 2, 3 little things. Like I'm done, But now I'm in a place where I can't continue to give you everything to try to pull you along to help you stay on this new path that I'm on, this new journey that I'm on. So I think I have to be comfortable with recognizing that people really do serve sometimes just a season of your life, and then it's just moving from that. So.
Well, they say some people are in your life for a reason, others for a season.
For a life.
Very true statement. So I guess kind of, the consensus we're coming to is that it's just kind of, it's individualized, it's an individualized thing. It's like, you gotta treat those relationships as they kind of come to you, and as they view their heads to you, like being able to say, I see you, and deal with it accordingly.
And like identifying what toxic means for you. Not just by definition, but like what it truly means for you, because what's toxic for me might not necessarily be toxic for you. Because everybody's tolerance is a little different. So I think just having it in my toolbox, these identifiers that I've collected over time, like what is too much for me, especially with where I'm at in my life.
Like with some of my clients, I say, take a sheet of paper, split it in half. On one side, I want you to give me all the characteristics of an associate. And then on the other side, give me all the characteristics of a friend, like being able to differentiate. Like, and you know, I think it's kind of like the same process. It's like having like a list of things, like, you know, that they're red flags for me, you know. And so in my interactions with you, if those start getting checked, you know,
that's all those deal breakers.
or additional check in tonight.
Right.
2 minutes check. You know, about to break down, you better get off.
It's about to clank, shut down.
Lock on up on it.
Locked up and you can't go nowhere. But,
That's what's gonna happen to your body. You gonna shut down.
Yes.
You
So
right.
everybody drain your energy.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
come on, Carl.
Oh, I know I had a couple broke down
You
bars.
know what I'm saying?
Couple of them.
Yes.
Figuratively and literally.
You know.
But
Yeah.
like you said, like I got to a place where like my body was like, this ain't it. This is not it. Like emotionally, physically, like it was just too much. It was just too much, and I had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Took me a minute, but once I was out, I'm out. You know, once I get to that place, hey, we gone. Ain't no come back. Ain't write no letters. Over here.
Don't even.
Right, I wish you well, but I'm out.
Yeah, that used to be a struggle point for me.
Same.
Used to be a struggle point for me, you know.
I'm one of them people, I run to the block like, dang, you know what? I feel bad. I shouldn't have left them back there. Let me go back and see if I can help them. Every time. And then I run again like, dang, why we ain't getting past the same point? And I gotta keep running back and get, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't keep going back. At some point, you gotta meet me halfway. You know, meet me halfway and let's go together, but I'm not gonna keep coming back, stopping my progress to, you know, pull somebody else along. That ain't meant to be there.
So I have another question.
Go ahead.
I don't know, I don't forgot. No, it's like I brought up earlier, my question was, have you ever found yourself being a toxic person in a relationship? So, say for instance, those people that maybe you were that toxic individual for, you know, comes back around, you know what I'm saying, and you have I don't want to say a chance or an opportunity to not be so toxic, but you know that, would that still be a cemented door for you? Just because it was in the past, even though you were the toxic, you see what I'm saying?
If it would be secret, like if I would leave the door closed.
Yeah, or would you be open to that idea of reconciling?
I think first for me, it would depend on if I let myself go for being a toxic individual, or if they let me go. Because that hit a little different. You know, I can walk away and I know I'm toxic. I chose to walk away. I'm helping you. You know, I'm basically giving you the cheat code. You know, but it's like if somebody were to tell me I'm toxic and I was in a place where I didn't receive it well, and then it comes back around, like they see my growth and they like, hey, what's going on, or how you been, or something. I don't know if I'm as likely to open that door back up. I'm one of them people, let's weld it shut. I'm not looking back like that because it takes a lot for me to get to the point of closing the door and shutting it. So for me, I don't want to open it again because I done worked too hard to close it.
So even though you said that they identified you as a toxic person, and then I'm assuming that in your growth later on, you identified that you were a toxic person.
You were still.
So you was still.
I feel like it was closed for a reason, and there was that chapter. I can't. I love watching movies again. I'm not gonna keep rereading the same book again. That's not something I can do. So you know, I don't read books more than once, and it gotta be a really good book for me, like a really good book. And I feel like if that book is that good, it's on the shelf already. So for me,
Well, Mukbang over.
You know, so for me, I don't think I would. At this point in my life, I definitely don't think I would. Because I wouldn't see the purpose. Because I learned from what I needed to learn from it. I took it as such, and I'm grateful, and I move forward. But I don't want to look back, even in a new space. I'm a new person. You still look like the same person, you know, because black don't crack. But yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, because it would depend on like if they, you know, if they're in a place where they can forgive you and see you for who you who you're presenting as present day as opposed to harboring, you know, whatever it was in the past. So I think if it's a point where it's like, okay, let's say I do try to open that door back up, you know, I'm showing you I'm a new person, I'm not the same, you know, I'm not the same as I was when I was younger, but you're still holding that over my head and still hindering me from the person that I am, then I'm not going to be able to hold on to it. But if you can meet me where I'm at today and see like, okay, she has truly changed and I'm going to grow and move forward with her, then that's a totally different situation.
Flip.
Okay.
So then, you know, the person that was toxic in your life, you see that they have grown and developed.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Get your little agua if you need.
Yeah, you want to take a little pie? We can
I might do need to get
Okay,
some water.
do.
Oh, I'm enough full. That's really good. We have to do this again.
And do another
Another region.
Like some tacos and things.
That's too basic. Don't be basic. We on growth spurt.
Yeah.
Grow your calories. No.
No.
Listen, I got allergies. Don't start. Don't come.
Right. So you talking about trying to
Don't
so
come
we
to me.
can't use fish, we can't use mango.
Well, don't
we
invite
can't
me
use
then.
shrimp.
That's how y'all
We can't use
That's
egg
how-
chop.
That's gonna be my intro right there. Well, then don't invite me in. Then don't come into the video. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, we talking about shit can't eat half of what's in the doggone world.
Come on, man. Half a little extreme there.
Man, peas,
Look.
baby carrot.
First off, it's peas in there.
Oh my.
I can't. You niggas started to
Girl, you
kill
just
me.
almost. Baby,
I'm slightly allergic. It's okay. So
oh my God.
She said, I thought I was
I really almost had a heart attack.
got this man sweating crying again.
I was like, it's peas all over.
I tried. I ate them. I touched them. I had been dead already.
Ooh.
Let me find out you was suffering this whole video.
Suffering in silence.
Oh, shoot, that's a topic.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, question. You had a
Oh,
question.
question.
I don't know no more.
Let's end it with takeaways. You know, what was your favorite part of this conversation?
I would say, I think it's always, you know, a beautiful thing where, you know, friends can come together over food and just have open, honest, and transparent conversations. So I think that's what, especially during this time where we've been, you know, separated, haven't been able to be around each other as much, and really have that, you know, that quality time. It's been a big, you know, addition to my bucket, you know, for this week. So that's what I, you know, just enjoy being around my people.
Right on.
I have to kind of piggyback off of that, you know, it's refreshing to be able to first off step outside the house, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do it over here. So thank you, Chantrell. Yeah, just being able to step outside the house and see people that I love and be able to have some honest and open conversation. And yeah, so my favorite part, honestly, though, is the dishes. The fact that we tried something different, you know, and pushed ourselves. Since we're talking about doing self-work, we pushed ourselves and did us some work and, you know, did something different. And I think that the results were amazing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, just learning. I always love to learn. You know, I love to learn every day something new. And I feel like this conversation to me was also a chance to step back, reflect once again, also share my knowledge, gain knowledge from you all, and just kind of think about some things in a different way. You know, the analogy you guys brought, it was just a great conversation for me. And I learned that Indian food is rather bland looking, but it's very flavorful. Like I was just looking around and noticed like we don't have much color, but we got a lot of flavor. So yeah, I like how we each brought something different to the table, you know, with the food and with our answers. So yeah, definitely was a good conversation.
So, yeah. Well, I'll wrap up with one last question. Then, what is one thing that you would like for my Grubz Spurt viewers? What is one thing that you, one indicator of a toxic relationship that you want my viewers to keep in mind?
I would say, just being mindful of, I think, overthinking. If you're in a position where you constantly have to think about basically be scripted, or you're not fully your genuine and authentic self around this person, you feel like you have to adapt and mold to fit however they're going to present to you that day. I feel like that's a major indicator of a toxic relationship. Okay.
I think for me, if it isn't feeding you, it's starving you.
Yeah.
And you need food to live, you know? So if you find yourself in a situation where like this is taking more than it's putting back into you, you might be in a toxic relationship of some sort. So yeah, it's good.
You know, and like I said, listening to your body. If you are drained, if physically you just, are depleted, if you get anxiety thinking about going around that person, or get anxiety thinking about those interactions with that person, it's a pretty good indicator. And just being able, and if someone's not being open to you talking with them about it and exploring it with them, then you don't need no more indicators, baby.
Right. If you can't be vulnerable.
This conversation's been amazing, just being able to be with y'all, so thank you so much for joining. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.